Hi, I'm Rev Myron. I'm a minister through Pathways of Light, and I've been a Course in Miracles student for 40 years. One of the things that I am doing this year, as I've done before, is to go through the lessons, reading each one, asking Jesus to clarify for me, help me to see it maybe a little differently than I have before. So I'm doing lesson 14 today. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today is, of course, the reason why a meaningless world is impossible. What God did not create does not exist. And everything that does exist exists as he created it. The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making, and it does not exist. In accepting that this obvious statement is actually true, we awaken. We realize that what the eyes show us is an illusion because it is not what God created. Jesus assures us that what he created exists as he created it. He did not create this body, so this body does not exist. He did create us, and so we exist as he created us, as thought in the mind of God. We did not magically become bodies, nor did our imagination in any way change what God created us to be. The world we see is something we made up in our minds and does not exist. Paragraph 2. The exercises for today are to be practiced with eyes closed throughout. The mind-searching period should be short, a minute at most. Do not have more than 3 practice periods with today's idea unless you find them comfortable. If you do, it will be because you really understand what they are for. Paragraph 3. The idea for today is another step in learning to let go of the thoughts that you have written on the world and to see the Word of God in their place. The early steps in this exchange, which can truly be called salvation, can be quite difficult and even painful. Some of them will lead you directly into fear. You will not be left there. You will go far beyond it. Our direction is towards perfect safety and perfect peace. Jesus is very gentle with us, isn't he? He takes us a small step at a time into reality. However, he's very clear when he tells us that the world is not reality. It does not exist. If we identify ourselves as bodies, we will think that we do not exist either, and this is frightening. Actually, the self we come to the Course believing we really are does not exist. It's just a collection of beliefs, none of which are true. When we think we are these beliefs, we will experience fear when they're questioned. We will not be left in our fear because as we awaken, we naturally leave behind the idea of an individual self. What we have in its place is a feeling of fundamental well-being. We know everything is okay. There's a feeling of peace and happiness without this constant referencing to the story of the character. Paragraph 4, with eyes closed, think of all the horrors in the world that cross your mind. Name each one as it occurs to you and then deny its reality. God did not create it, and so it's not real. Say, for example, God did not create that war, and so it is not real. God did not create that airplane crash, and so it's not real. God did not create that disaster, some very specific disaster, and so it is not real. Paragraph 5, suitable subjects for the application of today's idea also include anything you're afraid might happen to you or to anyone whom you are concerned. In each case, name the disaster quite specifically. Do not use general terms. For example, do not say God did not create that illness, but God did not create cancer or heart attacks or whatever may arouse fear in you. I remember when I first did this, I was very uncomfortable with the exercise. I preferred not to think about the horrors of the world too specifically or even at all. Of course, I knew I was afraid of many things, but I tried to keep those thoughts at bay as much as I could. I couldn't do this lesson very long, and Jesus knew that would be true for many of us. This is why he cautions us to keep these exercises short. Paragraph 6. This is your personal repertory of horrors at which you are looking. These things are part of the world you see. Some of them are shared illusions, and others are part of your personal hell. It does not matter. What God did not create can only be in your own mind apart from his. Therefore, it has no meaning. In recognition of this fact, conclude the practice periods by repeating today's idea. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today can, of course, be applied to anything that disturbs during the day, aside from the practice periods. Be very specific in applying it. Say, God did not create a meaningless world. He did not create, specify the situation which is disturbing you, and so it is not real. I don't have too many personal horrors to look at now. I would prefer not to get Alzheimer's disease as my mom did, but if I do, I do. It doesn't scare me in the way it used to. As to our shared horrors, I am not unaware of the direction we're taking in this world. I know that we are destroying the planet, that we are separating from each other in our politics. I would prefer that this is not true, because those who believe it is real are going to suffer. But in spite of the suffering that are the effects of these mistakes, lessons will be learned. Everyone will wake up eventually. I'm doing my part for the healing of our mind, and I know it's helping. So this is our lesson for today. Thank you for watching my video. If you found this helpful, then please like it and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow.